how we can make processes more efficient and more effective. For example, we have seen outside there's a little shop from a co-op here, from the surroundings, I guess, and they are selling their products. I don't know if they have like a online platform, for example, or like an online shop or whatever, to have more outreach, to have more opportunities to target different customer groups, things like that. Or generally, the benefit of digitization, especially when it comes to artificial intelligence, I think one of the tasks of higher education institutions is to incorporate into the education questions like this, very up-to-date questions not from yesterday, but questions that are directing into the future even. How can also those co-ops use those techniques to improve their performance, let's say? And I think this is especially important for smaller companies that co-ops might be. And yeah, and I think this is a big opportunity for the higher education institutions also to, let's say, to make some advertisement for themselves if they would like establish incubators or accelerators and align the whole process from the beginning, from supporting the students to create their ideas, their innovative ideas, and then supporting them through the whole process until it comes to the foundation of a real business, let's say. And I think there are a lot of opportunities. Also, don't forget to consider, let's say, global opportunities, in the sense that, for example, I was talking with one of my colleagues here about the Global Entrepreneurship Week. This will be held in November. It's, as the name says, it's a global event. So not only universities, but also any kind of institution can participate. There are no limits to that. And just Google it, Global Entrepreneurship Week. I don't know, I would like to ask you who knows about this Global Entrepreneurship Week in November. Please, hands up. I have to change my glasses. I don't see any hands. No, really? Oh, okay. Because this is, there's some organization behind that, but it's not a political one. And we also, at our university, we started also only 10 years ago to participate in this Global Entrepreneurship Weeks. What is the benefit for a university to participate in that? So it's for free. You don't have to pay anything for that. You can use all the promotion material that they provide, just download and print or whatever. And what you're going to do is just to offer as many events you like, 2 or 3, under the framework of this Global Entrepreneurship Week. And I think this is a very good opportunity to ensure that the topic of entrepreneurship will get enough attention at your university, and it's also a very good opportunity to connect with the community outside, I would say. We have made this experience. We have asked a lot of institutions outside university to participate also, and then what we did in the beginning, we have been the coordinator for that as a university, so we collected all the offers from very different institutions and also individual consultants, and this helps you to create this very important startup ecosystem, because it's not only about financing, it's also to know the right people that will later help you to promote your business. So I can, if there's an opportunity or a possibility to share this link of Global Entrepreneurship Week, we could do that through the conference materials probably. I would really like to encourage you to think about such opportunities, and it's very low-hanging fruits. So, not to forget, international partnerships, or partnerships in general. You mentioned already you're going to partner within the African continent, but it's very, very important, I would say. And I would like you to let you know that the DAAD, the DAAD, German Academic Exchange Service, DAAD, also offers grants for connections within a region, within Africa especially. So just feel free to look on the website of DAAD. So who knows DAAD or DAAD? DAAD, some of you, okay. And yeah, I would recommend to check out the site, what they are offering. But there's much more, and probably we have heard about capacity building, and probably have heard about the Erasmus Plus capacity building program. Who has heard of that? Yeah. Yes, some of you too. And I think this is a wonderful opportunity to share experiences, to learn from each other, and also you as an African institution can also apply for that. It's not necessary that, let's say, a European partner applies, but it could also be done by you. You have to have some partners from Europe, of course, but there are also opportunities to find them very easily. So let me ask the people who are organizing this conference, is it possible to share some links or something with the audience? Does anybody know? Should be the case. So I can also, is it possible to share something? Yes? Okay, perfect. And I will also share another very helpful internet link to a Bavarian association. So I come from Bavaria. It's one of the federal countries in Germany. And in Bavaria, we have a very useful organization that is funded by the Bavarian government that has a very strong focus on Africa. And what they are doing, if you, for example, would search a partner, it must be then a partner from Bavaria, but if you would search for a partner, they would support you and bring you together. And they are doing a lot of wonderful network events and things like that. So, and what we are just started with UNILAK, our university, we started collaboration this year, and it's very fresh one, very new one. And I'm very happy that I was invited to act here as a guest professor, visiting professor. So I have the honor to teach a masterclass in entrepreneurship. And I think when it comes to innovation, to venture, to entrepreneurship, it's very important not to forget what was also said by my predecessor, that it's not only about how can I make money, how can I generate an income. We always should try, mainly as the teachers, as the educators, not to forget to tell our students about values, not to forget that. That's immensely important, and especially with the co-ops, as they are, like you can say, very democratic form of business. The chance is there that you can really bring values like trust, like sustainability, etc., really bring it to the market and yeah, generating some positive impact on community. So let me see if there's something else. Yeah, and I also want to encourage you all, what was already said, really to collaborate. It's so important not to act in isolated way, but really to collaborate. And a co-op, I mean, it is the best example for collaboration. And if you, I do not have so many numbers up to now about the situation of co-ops in Africa, let's say, but I know in Germany we have a long tradition with co-ops, and I know that they are the most stable kind of legal form of a company. So when it comes to this point of stability, of sustainability in economic terms, I would say that co-ops are one of the best legal forms we can find. And what else? Yeah, so I think, yeah, just let me close with a nice sentence. So universities, they have the resources, they have the talents, and they have the platforms to be the engines of innovation. And by fostering collaboration between students, faculty, and the cooperative sector, they can have a significant impact on both local and even global economies. The future we envision is one where every graduate leaves university equipped to start not just any business, but a business rooted in social responsibility and community well-being. Murakoze Jane, asante sana, thank you very much.
Murakoze cyane namwe. Thank you so much. Yes. It's okay. Take your time. Thank you so much. Wow. So, listening to our two presenters, I would tend to say they have prepared it together. But of course, it's not the case. But this is what makes this conference, this is what makes this conference international, and this is what makes this conference scientific. What does it mean? You apply the same methods, you get the same results. Okay? Please, another big round of applause to our presenters. Now, our final keynote address will be delivered by Dr. Charles Uwaramutse, who holds a PhD in cooperative development and management from Moshi Cooperative University, as well as he also holds a Master of Science in Accounting and a Bachelor of Science in Finance from the University of the Adventist of Kigali, UNILAK. With over 12 years of experience in teaching and program development, Dr. Uwaramutse has participated in various professional development initiatives, including training on cooperative promotion in Africa and syllabus writing organized by Rwanda Education Board. Currently, he serves as the head of the Cooperative Management and Accounting Department at UNILAK, where he plays a vital role in shaping the department's academic direction and creating a supportive learning environment. His extensive consulting and community service work with national and international organizations underscores his commitment to applied knowledge. Once again, with a big round of applause, please join me in welcome to the stage Dr. Uwaramutse Charles.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests, dear cooperators and the entrepreneurs. It is a great honor and a privilege to present at this international conference on business management and innovation with an inspiring theme of making successful entrepreneurs, successful cooperative societies and the innovative entrepreneurs, challenges, opportunity, and the new trends. We are living in an era of rapid transformation. Economies are evolving, innovative business models are reshaping industries, and societies are more interconnected than ever before. Yet, amid those changes, one constant remains: the vital role of cooperative societies in driving inclusive growth, empowering communities, and fostering sustainable development. As Mahatma Gandhi once said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Cooperative societies embody this spirit of uniting individuals for a shared purpose, building the economic and social futures together. Today, more than 3 million cooperatives exist around the world, and over 12% of the global population is involved in a cooperative, and they are collectively employ over 200 million people, nearly 10% of the world workforce. This is not a statistic. It is a statement to the strength and importance of cooperative movement. As the African proverb states, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Cooperatives exemplify this truth. They take communities by fostering collective action. So beyond economic contributions, cooperatives play an instrumental role in realizing SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. By exploiting the power of collective action, cooperatives become catalysts for building more sustainable, equitable, and prosperous world. In Rwanda, the cooperative movement has played a pivotal role in the national post-genocide recovery, economic growth, and social cohesion. Rwanda reports over 10 million registered cooperatives with more than 5 million members across all sectors, employing about 70% of country working population, which is a significant percentage. The government of Rwanda views cooperative as a pivotal tool for achieving Vision 2050. It has thus established a conducive environment for cooperatives to operate. This includes the recent cooperative law of 2024 governing cooperatives in Rwanda, and the national policy on the promotion of cooperatives to ensure that cooperatives are a profitable enterprise capable of transforming social and economic among members and contribute to the national economic development. So the government of Rwanda has also established programs aimed at capacity building, access to finance, and the market linkage in the strengthening cooperative sector. However, despite this robust support, there are several challenges and weaknesses that hinder the development of cooperatives in Rwanda, especially limited financial resources, financial dependence, and weak governance structures. And this brings me to a central point. Governance is the heart of any successful cooperative. While Rwanda has solid legal framework, very solid legal framework, good governance goes beyond laws. It is about accountability. It is about transparency. And most importantly, it is about leadership that genuinely reflects the needs and aspiration of the members. Unfortunately, similar to most of cooperatives in developing countries, cooperatives in Rwanda experience challenges related to weak leadership and management skills, lack of accountability, transparency, and member engagement. Cooperatives are democratic design, yet in practice, many struggle with low levels of member participation in decision-making processes. This often leads to imbalanced power dynamics, with a few individuals holding too much influence, while others remain disengaged. Generally, cooperatives are affected by both internal and external governance. Internal governance consists about cooperative bylaws, policies, and decision-making process, while external governance is about the process of cooperative interaction with the external stakeholders from either public or private sectors. So good governance is determined by how cooperatives retain autonomy and independence, ensure mutual benefits, bargain, influence policy and other reforms, and protect cooperative identity and interest. Inefficiency, leadership, and limited financial control mechanism among cooperatives in developing countries necessitate government oversight in their management and administration. Governance, cooperative should be wary of how weak internal governance prompts interference in their management and administration, which violates the principle of autonomy and independence among cooperatives. Weak governance structures creates an environment where corruption can develop, funds are misappropriated, and accountability is minimal. This destroys member trust, which is vital to the success of cooperatives. Moreover, without strong governance frameworks, cooperatives struggle to attract investments and the partnership that could enable them to fulfill their potentials. As per the principle of education, training, and information, cooperatives should therefore keep their members and staff educated, informed, and trained to govern their cooperative successfully without any external influence. In addition to governance challenges, persistent culture of financial dependency on government and donors poses a significant obstacle to the development of cooperatives in developing countries. Many cooperatives in Rwanda, especially agricultural cooperatives, often rely heavily on external financial support to operate, whether through government subsidies, donor funding, or grants. While such assistance can be beneficial in the short term, yes, they can be beneficial in the short term, it can create a long dependency that impede the cooperative's ability to generate its own income and build the financial resilience. Many cooperatives have developed an expectation of continual external aid, which undermines their governance and self-reliance. This dependence weakens their internal decision-making, fosters lack of accountability, and limits their capacity to become self-sustaining entities. When cooperatives consistently rely on outside help, they often fail to develop their financial discipline, resourcefulness, and innovative thinking required to operate independently. This raises a critical question for all of us today. When cooperatives in Rwanda will be fully sustainable without reliance on government and donor support? The answer lies in the step we take in this conference. Rwanda Cooperative Alliance and the other development partners should organize capacity building programs, particularly in self-governance for cooperatives. Strong leadership and effective governance should come from within, not be imposed from outside. In addressing the persistent challenge of weak governance in a cooperative, one critical step is ensuring those organizations are managed by individuals with the necessary expertise. Therefore, I recommend that government consider prioritizing the inclusion of graduates in cooperative management and accounting for leadership roles within cooperative societies. By appointing individuals with specialized training in those areas, cooperative can benefit from enhanced financial oversight, strong governance practices, and more effective decision-making among cooperatives. Graduates with expertise in cooperative management and accounting possesses the skills needed to ensure transparency, improve resource management, and foster the culture of accountability in cooperatives. Furthermore, universities should play a key role in developing future cooperative leaders by establishing cooperative hubs. Those hubs provide hands-on experience in managing and growing cooperatives. Participants gain access to mentorship, networks, and resources that foster innovation and collaboration. Regular and continuing training ensure they stay updated on practices and leadership. The combination of experience and ongoing education strengthens leadership and management abilities within cooperatives. To solve the issue of limited financial capacity, financial institutions and government should develop cooperative-friendly financial mechanisms. Initiatives such as low-interest loans, credit guarantees, and cooperative-specific financial products will help improve access to finance, particularly for rural cooperatives. Cooperatives must also develop strategies to generate their own revenue through member contribution, product sales, or other income-generating activities. By reducing financial dependence on government and donor support, cooperatives can strengthen their autonomy and enhance governance and become more resilient, ensure long-term sustainability and growth. To conclude, cooperatives and innovative entrepreneurs are two pillars that can drive sustainable development, not just in Rwanda, but across the world. However, to unlock their potentials, we must address the challenges of weak governance, limited finance access, and lack of innovation. With the right support from governments, private institutions, and development partners, cooperatives can continue to empower individuals, create jobs, and build resilient communities. So let us commit ourselves to build an ecosystem where cooperative entrepreneurs can thrive. Together, we can create a future where innovation, inclusivity, and shared prosperity are the hallmarks of our global economy. Asanteni sana.
Let's also say merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. Wow. I don't know if you captured it the same way I captured, but if we did the same, the central message was cooperation. We need cooperation, different partners partnering. That was my takeaway. That was just the key message. And when our presenters, our three presenters, or our three keynote speakers were presenting, my mind took me back to an old quotation. Maybe I don't know if it's the quotation which is old or I don't know. But the quotation is this: the more cooperative we are, the more valuable we become. Right? We say that's all. That's really it's a very strong takeaway. Now, from our keynote speakers, we heard from Tanzania, we heard from Germany, we heard from Rwanda, and from those presentations, we also heard about the entire world. Because the researchers were not talking about what's happening in the local countries, but from these presentations, we learned about the best practices just over the world. So it's really a great message, and thank you so much. We really appreciated your insight and ideas and the best practices. Already they have hit the nail They talked about the challenge, they raised the challenges, they raised the questions, and then they talked about solutions, and also they proposed some new trends. Once again, let's just clap hands for our presenter. Thank you so much. Now, unless you have those very, very talented people in praying, because to pray so that the sun may stop, like the Bible says, but we have so many good, beautiful things just to get to listen to, and allow me today now to move to our third session, which is now going to last for long, because this speech by Dr. Charles marks the end of this second one. The third one will be a parallel session. A parallel session. This is a session, this is a time when we're going to hear from different researchers now. Different researchers talking about bringing some solutions, okay? Guiding to best practices. Now, with your permission, Jean-Claude, I'll ask you just to project the way those parallel sessions are organized. We are going to have 3 parallel sessions. The first one is going to be held here, okay? There will be about 2 presentations. Then the second one will be held in a room downstairs, and the third one, that's the reason why I call them parallel. And then, as you can see, the first one will be moderated by Dr. Albert, the second one by Dr. Sweater. I hope I pronounced it well. Okay, then yes, the first, the session by Dr. Albert will be held just downstairs. Protocol will help. Then the second one by Dr. Schroeter will be held also downstairs in a different room. Then in this main room, there will be another one to be moderated by Professor Marius. And yes, by Professor Marius. Now, a message to participants. You have a free choice to choose which one. So as you can see, topics are projected, and you are free to choose which one to join, which group to join, which group to join, which whatever you see may be interesting you, please go to that one. Then after, we'll just come back here for another message, or maybe for another message. I hope my message is clear. Did I make myself understandable? Yes. Parallel sessions, 3 rooms. The session A and B downstairs, then another one in this room. Participants, join any presentation of your choice. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. Protocol, please. Oh, thank you. Please guide people. Dr. Albert, let me ask maybe, Dr. Albert, can you raise? Oh, he's already gone. Then Professor Maris, can you say? Okay, he's there. And then Dr. Schroeter, can you? Yes, please. Okay, so let's just, you can take a look at those topics and see which one interests you, and then join that one. Thank you. Maybe let me take the lead. If you feel like you want to go downstairs, please, you may follow me together with the protocol so that we may save time. This is a clarification from, because it's a suggestion by effective commitment in modern cooperatives. The second one here are predictors of members' engagement in health insurance through cooperatives. Evidence from Ushirika scheme in Babati, Tanzania. Then another one here will be this one entitled Exploring the Dynamics of Living Labs in Igniting Students' Passion and Creativity in Entrepreneurship by Innocent Ndikumana. So if time allows, we may move to other ones, but those are three ones are going just to be held here. Of course, when you come back, because the time is now being friendly, from this room, we'll also hear or follow this presentation on the topic leveraging agricultural cooperatives for women's economic empowerment, agricultural innovation systems, a structure modeling study by Vedasa Habumuremyi. Then there will be also this one on cooperative concerns for community and climate change actions by Matthias and Machimu. Thank you so much. I hope I made it just a little bit clear. Okay. Rooms? Okay. Well, the first one is this one. The second one is downstairs, room A. Then the third one downstairs also in room B. Okay, thank you.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This will be then the first parallel session, and there are two other sessions also running at the same time downstairs. While we wait, can we ask Dr. Emmanuel and Innocent to please come and join us here in front, our speakers at this session. Dr. Emmanuel. Good morning. Oh, good day. Good day. It's already evening. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, are we ready to commence with this session? Okay, for this parallel session, we will have two presentations. And our first speaker is going to tell us more about the predictors of member engagement in health insurance through cooperatives. And we would like to welcome Dr. Emmanuel from Tanzania. Please help us put a hand together and welcome Dr. Emmanuel.
Hello everyone, how are you? Yeah, I'm very happy to be here today, and it's actually my first time to be in Rwanda, and I'm so happy that I've been received with great hospitality, and really I've started learning some few words like mwiriwe, mwiriwe, yes. Yeah, thank you very much. I'm here to present a topic on predictors of members' engagement in cooperative health insurance, and we are drawing evidence from Ushirika Afya scheme in Tanzania. Now, access to public health care has been a challenge, not only to most of our East African countries, but also to the world. And that's why we see the third Sustainable Development Goal is about health. But also the first aspiration of the Africa we want, the Agenda 2063, is about health. It's about assuring access to quality health care in our countries. It's about ensuring access to quality health care in our countries. Now, having this global concern, then we get to understand how important the important role that cooperatives can play when it comes to ensuring access to quality health care. And here we have cooperative health insurance. Now, cooperative health insurance improves access to healthcare services in more than 76 countries. About 76 countries have integrated cooperatives' healthcare system into their systems. But also globally, we have about 3,300 cooperatives. That saves more than 100 million households globally. And this translates to about 200 million people around the world, with a turnover of about 15 billion. So with cooperative health insurance is that members come together and they do pool their resources in order to gain access to healthcare services and cover medical expenses at affordable prices. Cooperative health insurance comes in many forms. The most common ones, I'm going to explain three of them. One is healthcare professionals, whereby healthcare professionals come together and form a cooperative that provide health services. But also we have production cooperatives. This includes industries like pharmaceutical industries. And in this case, we have very good success stories from Belgium, Spain, and Italy. In Belgium, the medical distribution market in that country, 20% is saved by cooperatives. And in Spain, 70% is saved by cooperatives. And in Italy, about 10.5% is saved by cooperative societies. We also have other types of cooperatives, such as the user cooperatives, as well as the stakeholders cooperatives. Now, these integrate different types of cooperatives coming together to make sure that they provide services to the members. But despite this important role that cooperative health insurance is playing, we are still witnessing very low membership, very low engagement of cooperative members in the cooperative health insurance schemes. And globally, as I said earlier, that about 100 million households are being saved by cooperatives. This is only about 1.2% of the global population. That is 8.2 billion. So you can see we still have so many people who do not have really good access to health care. And in US, which is of course a very good success story, is that in US we have 23 health insurance cooperatives. And Health Partners is a pioneer in this. Health Partners alone, they do save about 1.5 million members in America. But you can understand that America is about, the population of America is about 400 million plus. But we still have very low number of people who are into these health cooperatives. In Uganda, which I can say is a pioneer when it comes to East Africa, in Uganda they do have 29 health insurance cooperatives, which saves about 60,000 members. In Kenya, they are currently in mobilization stage. That is under Health Partners. As you see, the Health Partners is American cooperative health insurance, and they're really helping Kenyans to try to mobilize having the health cooperatives there. And in Tanzania, my country, we don't have really a pure cooperative health insurance, but rather we have a scheme that brings together farmers, and that ensures that farmers in the rural areas can have access to good health care through health insurance that is organized by the National Health Insurance Fund. And now you can see about 250 AMCOs. AMCOs, these are agricultural marketing cooperatives. They are taking part in this scheme through the National Health Insurance. And through this scheme, about 11,617 members are getting service. So, as we have seen, that engagement of members in health cooperatives is still low. Now, what is the literature telling us about this problem? How can we motivate more cooperators, more cooperative members to engage in cooperative, health cooperatives? Now, the literature shows that, and particularly in countries like Saudi Arabia, in USA, in Belgium, in Italy, Spain, as well as Uganda, the literature is telling us that health cooperatives play a very important role in expanding access to health care in these countries. But also, the literature shows that people are willing, people feel that they have the necessary resources, they have capacity, they have skills, and they are willing to participate by contributing into cooperative health insurance. And this is by studies done in Kenya by Professor Nyamongo. In Tanzania, we have Professor Saim has conducted a study on this, as well as in Uganda. Now, people are willing to participate and to contribute financially into this type of cooperatives. And the literature also has indicated some external factors that are necessary or important to keep members engaged in health cooperatives. And this includes democratic structures. It's very important, as some of the keynote speakers have highlighted, it's very important for the cooperative to maintain their democratic structures and ensure that members are taking part in making strategic decisions about their societies. Now, this has been emphasized also in the literature. However, what is lacking in the literature is that we don't really understand, it is not clear, what are the underlying psychological factors that really drives engagement of cooperative members into cooperative health, into membership into cooperative health insurance societies. So this study is trying to examine those factors. And based on the literature review, we developed this model that is based on the theory of planned behavior, as well as some other empirical studies. In this model, we conceptualized that members' engagement in cooperative health insurance basically is determined by their health aspirations, subjective norms, but also what is their attitude about health insurance and their perceived behavioral controls. Now, in terms of methodology, the data was mainly collected from Babati district in Manyara region, particularly in areas of Galapo and Dareda. Babati district is on the northern part of our country. And population was basically farmers, but farmers who were members of these agricultural marketing cooperative societies. So not all agricultural marketing cooperative societies were taking part in this scheme. Some of them were not taking. And again, not all members in these 56 AMCOs were also part of this scheme. Some of them were not. And the sample involved about 326 farmers, whereby after screening, we ended up with a sample of 300 farmers who were members of agricultural marketing cooperative society. And a survey was used as a strategy for our study. Now, the demographic profile of our sample. About 72.7% were male. You can see that it's gender skewed. And 64.6% of them were more than 50 years of age. And in terms of education, 88% were having secondary school or below, and 90.3% had a household income of about $259 or less. And now, what measurement do we use? We adopted measurement of those variables from related studies, and after doing the analysis, we found that the alpha, Cronbach, and component reliability were greater than the recommended threshold of 0.7. So this gave us a go-ahead to continue with analysis. So we employed the structural equation modeling, whereby all the hypotheses that were conceptualized, 5 minutes. All hypotheses that were conceptualized were supported, and I'm going to discuss these findings in the next slide. So theoretically, what does our study do? The study theoretically extended, as I said, the theory of planned behavior by incorporating health aspirations to identify the factors that were predicting members' engagement, especially within the agricultural marketing cooperative societies. And the research model shows that attitude towards health insurance, perceived behavioral control, subjective norms, and aspirations have directly, influence on members' engagement. Now, findings and implication. With respect to the first finding, that perceived behavioral control positively influences members' engagement. This is telling us that cooperative members are willing. Cooperative members believe that they have the necessary resources to engage, to join in health cooperatives. And there's a message to the organs that are responsible for cooperative promotion to proactively promote formation of health insurance cooperatives. As the main theme of our conference highlights the need for us to understand what are the opportunities existing. So this is one of the areas that our countries can embark in, so that we can have cooperatives playing a greater role in ensuring that the people in our countries can have access to quality health care. Another finding is on health aspirations. We found that members' health aspirations in terms of their wellness, preventive health care, these aspirations have a positive impact on their engagement. And what does it tell us? It tells us cooperatives should design health insurance products that align with the members' health aspirations, such as coverage for preventive health care and other aspirations that members have. But also, there is a need to raise awareness to the people about cooperative health insurance in line with members' health aspirations. But also, cooperative can use health aspiration data by using the new technologies, the big analytics, to understand, to identify what members, based on their aspirations, what members are likely to enroll and stay engaged in cooperative health insurance. With respect to the impact of attitude towards health insurance on members' engagement, we are saying that cooperatives, health insurance authorities, cooperative education institutions, should develop strategies that will enhance positive attitude towards cooperative health insurance. As the first keynote speaker, Professor Machim, just said, that we have so many good stories about cooperatives, but these stories are not documented. Our people don't know them. We can use these good stories about cooperative health insurance that are existing in Uganda and other countries to showcase to our people, to make them have a positive attitude towards joining cooperative health insurance. And we can also use these success stories. We can also use positive media to ensure that our people get a positive, mindset about cooperative health insurance. The last finding is on subjective norms. Our study found that the subjective norms positively influence members' engagement. And with this, we are calling for cooperative societies to leverage on influencers, people who are influential in their communities, be it online or offline. Let us use these people in propagating the idea of cooperative health insurance. But also, cooperatives can use their bylaws to reinforce cooperative norms. This will help because our study has found that subjective norms are really so much powerful. And particularly in the areas where we conducted our study, most of these cooperatives were having a clause in their bylaws that was mandating members to become part of this Ushirika Afya scheme. So to effectively engage farmers in cooperative health insurance, we need to promote initiatives that support farmers' health aspirations. We need to develop strategies that enhance positive attitudes towards cooperative health insurance. We need to leverage influencers and implement targeted cooperative health insurance membership initiatives. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Emmanuel, for that informative presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got a notepad, so please write down your questions. After our second presenter, we will allow a few questions to our presenters. Secondly on the list is Innocent from Rwanda, who is going to tell us more about exploring the dynamics of living labs in getting students engaged in entrepreneurship. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure for me to present to you the topic on exploring the dynamics of living labs in igniting students' passion and creativity in entrepreneurship. Of course, this concept of living lab is quite new, and first of all, you need to understand what it's about. In practical pedagogy, living labs are interactive environments that integrate theory and practice, enabling students to apply their knowledge to real-world experience. So various researchers have mentioned the different benefits of living labs, including these ones. Of course, it is not easy to present living lab experience within 15 minutes, but I will try my best. Various researchers have demonstrated the benefits of living labs in fostering practical pedagogy. So there remains a gap, even if various researchers have conducted studies on living labs, but there is a gap about how specific dynamics of living labs can influence crucial aspects of entrepreneurship success, such as students' passion and creativity. So this research was conducted to address this gap. Specifically, the study aimed to explore the dynamics of living labs. Living lab dynamics, it means it's operational driving force, and soon we'll see these dynamics. Secondly, the study aimed to evaluate the entrepreneurial passion and creativity of students enrolled in the course of environmental entrepreneurship course as the pilot cohort at UNILAK. So Living Lab, for your information, we are applying it at UNILAK this year. And recently we went to Korea to present the outcomes, sharing experience with the other lecturers from across the globe. Thirdly, the study aimed to examine how the Living Labs dynamics ignite students' entrepreneurial passion and creativity. Methodology used. The study used mixed method approach. It means quantitative and a qualitative approach. And what is quite new is that in the qualitative approach, we used students' experiences through their presentations, through interviews, not just asking them questions that are not related to their practical experiences. And if it's possible, I will share some videos about what has been happening in the Living Lab, if time allows. So the cohort included national and international students from countries such as Rwanda, Liberia, Gabon, Cameroon, and this was a nearly balanced gender distribution. Analysis involved both descriptive and differential statistics, while qualitative data from open exam responses and presentations helped me to identify key or recurring themes and patterns which were analyzed thematically. I proceeded from their experiences now to identify key recurring themes in my survey. So, presentation of findings. This figure serves to present findings, but because of time, we are not to go through these details. The following slides will help just to explain this figure. This figure embodies the findings that we came out with, including descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. So, in these dynamics, the first one was conducive environment for experiential learning. The Living Lab was seen to be a conducive environment for experiential learning. What speakers have been talking about. This new approach will address all these issues, experiential learning. Students highly rated the lab for helping them to learn by doing, learning by doing. Activities in the lab were perceived as providing real-world experience and connecting classroom learning to community setting. The second dynamic was problem-based learning environment. The Living Lab was found to be a problem-based learning environment, learning from problems. Students agreed that the activities were well aligned with the real-world environmental challenges, and the Living Lab was seen as effectively challenging students to apply their knowledge to devise viable solutions. The third was collaborative learning environment. Students felt that the Living Lab environment significantly encouraged the collaborative learning. Collaborative learning. Thank you. Okay, let's just rush. The Living Lab was seen as an environment for guidance and mentorship. It was also seen as a pre-incubation experience, where students can take their ideas to be incubated in UNILAK Incubation Center. And as far as passions and creativity is concerned, students showed attributes regarding enhanced motivation and engagement, risk-taking, dynamic creative process, and the development of soft skills. So I will not go in details because of time. These are the attributes that students developed following these dynamics in the Living Lab. Enhanced creative process, soft skill development, developing presentation skills, and now the impact was seen that the Living Lab becomes, as the Living Lab becomes more engaging and dynamic, students tend to show greater enthusiasm and creativity, and this was quantified by statistics, as you can see. And this, in collecting qualitative data, I can show some videos. Can you play for me a bit? Where students showcased, students managed to showcase what the prototypes they got from the Living Lab experience. Okay, can you rush? Okay, rush so that you can see products. These are the products. Students' project of recycling waste clothes into fashionable garments. Fashionable garments, just collecting waste clothes to produce fashionable garments. This is one project. There were many projects, but because of the time, I can't show all of them. Go to the next slide. The next video. Okay, this one, can you play for me? Where students could produce bottled Spanish juice to address the rising demand of organic and healthy beverage. We can rush to the... So this is real-world experience that students experience during Living Lab experience, because it was a kind of longitudinal study. These are just qualitative data just collected from students. Okay, rush to the other video. Where students made natural deodorants from organic ingredients without the use of harsh chemicals, just to resolve environmental challenges. So with the Living Labs, students could come up with more prototypes, leading to a mushrooming of many, many business ideas and prototypes that could be incubated in UNILAK incubation centers. Many, many projects, and this can lead to more innovation. They can participate in competition, they can select the best products and so on. So data discussion, the data presented indicate a strong consensus among participants regarding the effectiveness of Living Labs as a multifaceted environment for experiential learning, problem solving, and collaborative learning. And this was in line with different researchers, what they found. Here I just tried to align my findings with the findings from other researchers, and I came up to a conclusion because of time. Let's just rush through recommendations. It was recommended to maximize the impact of Living Labs on students' entrepreneurial success. Educational administrators should integrate Living Labs with the incubator programs. As you can remember, Professor Gabriel recommended institutions of higher learning to establish university incubators. Now, Living Lab can be one of the important tools to produce more innovative ideas that can be incubated in university incubators. So now, education administrators should integrate Living Labs with incubator programs to facilitate a smooth transition from experiential idea development in Living Labs to formal business incubation processes to safeguard students' innovations and transform them into viable market solutions, thereby bridging the gap between creativity and commercialization. Future researchers would benefit from larger and more diverse cohorts in the entrepreneurship course to enhance the ability to showcase the Living Labs product and its impact on solving community problems. Because I didn't have time to exhaust my methodology, this methodology uses first-hand observers. It means the teacher experimenting with students. Then future researchers would benefit from larger cohorts, larger audience, to have more business ideas, more prototypes, and so that we have more innovative students that can bring their products to markets just to solve challenges regarding the gap between academia and industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Innocent, for sharing that information with us. A lot of challenges that academics can turn into opportunities. I would now like to invite our two speakers to please come and join me for any questions from the audience. There's now an open session and you can fire any questions at our experts. You can just stand there, it's fine. Any questions? You can also sit there. You're welcome. Okay, from the audience, if you want to ask a question, just put up your hand so that I can see who you are, and then you can use the microphone on your table. Any questions from our audience? Yes, there we have a hand.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I am Barry Ibrahima, Associate Professor of University of Nantes, France Department of Economics, and Associate Professor of National College of Food Engineering from France. I have a comment and a question in the first presentation where you use SEM, structural equation modeling. I don't understand how you can use structural equation modeling without the path. Firstly, you have to draw and to explain the path. And also, I don't, when you plan to draw the path, firstly, you have to move from theoretical foundation, because theoretical foundation lead you to draw the path. Do you understand? But I didn't see that in your presentation. And secondly, also, how you can analyze your result without the assumption. Because when you use statistical equation modeling, you have to interpret your analysis from your assumption. So I didn't understand how you can analyze your assumption, your result without the assumption and the path. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Yeah, thank you very much for your question with regard to the path as well as with regard to the assumption. Yeah, it's true that I did not indicate the path, but all paths were analyzed, and if you get an opportunity maybe to get a full paper, yeah, you can see all those assumptions, the path, how the path were supported, how they've been analyzed, and how they've been discussed. but it was not very possible to provide them within the 15 minutes of the presentation.
So for our question, you're welcome to contact our presenter and he can provide you with a full paper.
Yes, I can provide a full paper. Yeah, for those who are interested.
All right, then we have another question.
Yes, I do. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Matthias, a senior trainer, researcher, and consultant from the Moshi Cooperative University. My question goes to the first presenter, Dr. Lulandala, particularly on the recommendations made. He specifically, and which I think it is a major recommendation on their paper, they are putting everything on whom they have referred to as the influencers. They are talking about cooperative health insurance, success through influencers. Unless they have something very special, I'm asking now this question: what exactly can those influencers do? Mind you, the fact that cooperatives are brought together by the common need of the members. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for a very interesting question. Yeah, about the role of influencers. Now, our study found that subjective norms, perceived pressure. Now, when you say perceived psychological pressure, it can come from these influencers who, of course, includes community leaders, people who are respected in their communities. It even goes up to the level of parents, etc. But in the age of social media, we also have social media influencers, etc. Now, the question is, what can these influencers do? One of the issues that is, I can say, problematic in the cooperative sector is that we live for other people to tell a story about us. We are not telling the world about our own story. Why am I saying so? I did one of the study among the agricultural marketing cooperatives. And it was ironical that among all the cooperatives that were studied, they did not have someone who is specialized for marketing, someone who is there to market what cooperatives have. So as a result, I think we all witness, I don't know here in Rwanda, but it's very common in my country, when you look at the media, the stories that are being written, the stories that are being shared about cooperatives is about theft, embezzlement, is about, lack of good governance in these cooperatives. So we don't have someone from our own who can speak out. So that's why this study is suggesting that cooperatives should really embark into a serious marketing campaigns. And this includes the use of influencers. When you are saying the use of influencers, that means we have to use influencers to communicate the good stories about us. I was just saying here the stories about success stories of health cooperatives in Uganda. But most of us, we don't know them. Now, if we don't know them, how can we have a positive mindset, a positive attitude? How can we even accept an idea of having a cooperative health insurance in our areas? So that's why what we are proposing is that cooperatives should embark into serious marketing efforts which make use of different strategies, including the use of influencers, people who can really have influence on the people that we have. There is this problem that we think, okay, because it is cooperative, then members are simply going to use the services offered by their cooperatives. The truth is not. Let me just give you an example about savings and credit cooperative societies. I, as a member, when I want to take a loan, I don't take a loan from a saving cooperative society because I'm a member there. I'm taking a loan because I think I can get much more better terms from my society. So what does it mean? It means that these savings cooperative societies are competing with commercial banks, with other microfinance companies. So unless we treat members first as owners of these cooperatives, But second, as customers, as consumers who need to be convinced, who need to be educated, who need to be enlightened about what their cooperative societies are really offering. If we don't do that, we are not going to leverage the benefit that we can get by marketing, not only to members, but also to the public. Thank you.
All right, and as we see in modern society, influencers play a very important role. And I think influencers can also play an important role in cooperatives. Some questions for our second speaker?
Okay, thank you. I think my gadget here is not working. My name is Silas Mayo, the Executive Chair, AfriCorp. I have questions to both of you. I will start with the first presenter, and I would really want to appreciate that you have gone into that space because I have also tried to look into the health insurance in cooperatives. But on your presentation, I was very keen when you are presenting data about gender. And one gender was dominating around 80 up to around 90. And I was very, very worried on your framework. Would that carve some of the very important critical information we would want to get from the other gender? Why were you not able to control the dynamics in terms of respondents so that you have balanced, given that you are also doing, qualitative data collection? That also brings me to the next one, which is almost related to Dr. Mathias. But now I'm looking at not influencers, but insurance authorities. The insurance sector is regulated. And therefore, as a regulated space, I know it has worked well in Uganda, but there are issues in Kenya because of regulatory space, and that you have not spoken to, especially for this the case study. What is your opinion in the space in terms of the environment, the ecosystem, how the regulatory agencies support that? On the second presenter, sorry, taking time, I also really appreciate the work you have done literally on the ground, supporting the entrepreneurs and the incubators towards the incubation. I would wish if you, I don't know if it is somewhere, if you would also highlight the path. Are these sustainable? Are they going to live up to do the incubation from the lab? Are they, when you model those prototypes, are these prototypes have tested the day to enter into incubation and commercialization? That is very key, and sometimes we lose a lot of intellectual property there. So how is that being taken care of from that particular point? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Silas, for your very important question. And it's very important for me just to come back on the role of Living Lab in igniting students' passion and creativity. Of course, the Living Lab, as I can remind, is a pedagogical approach that helps students to study by applying what they are learning. It means learning by doing, and relating what they are learning to the community. It means trying to resolve real world problems. Because as you have seen, it's a problem-based learning. So regarding prototyping and the issues related to IP, it means intellectual property, this is very, very important. But the role of the Living Lab is just to help students apply their theoretical knowledge to practical knowledge by producing more prototypes, and even helping them to be more creative, to use creative thinking, and to come up with more business ideas. It means ideation stage must be developed. Brainstorming, business model development, mind mapping, all these things, because I didn't have enough time to explain all this, but there are many models that we are using just to help students develop their business ideas using many models of creative process. As Gabriel said, that universities should develop more creative students, creative processes to help students come up with innovative ideas. Now the Living Lab will help students to have more ideas, which will be turned into more prototypes, and these prototypes are ready to be incubated. Now it is the role of the incubator to offer other trainings regarding how to protect their prototypes, their products. There will be some trainings regarding intellectual property rights and protection, and other trainings, marketing, financial management, and so on. This will happen in the incubation center. But the Living Lab will serve as a pre-incubation. It means it provides a pre-incubation experience where we have more students, more participants in our incubator. Then the incubator's role is just to help them find intellectual property rights for their products, and even to move from prototyping to commercialization through different trainings they will be offering. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Silas, CEO of Africa. Now, the first question was with respect to gender, that the study was mainly dominated by male, about 90-something% were male. Actually, this is a reflection of the membership pattern in these agricultural marketing cooperative societies. Most of these were involved into farming activities, and as you can know, in most African societies, the issues of land ownership and everything, it comes to men. Now, okay, that is the pattern, but how did we try to maybe address it? During our focus groups, but still because men were more than women, we still found ourselves having more men. So in our paper, actually, we have acknowledged this as a limitation kind of our study, and we have proposed further studies that will take on board not only members, because our study focused only on members. So that will take on board people who are not even members of cooperative societies to try to understand if really they can be part of the cooperative health insurance. Because now we're not only targeting those who are currently members of this AMCOS. If this thing has to start, then it has to go to all the people. If possible in these rural areas, not necessarily rural areas, even in urban areas. If people can join into cooperative health insurance, that will be good because it will ensure that they are going to have access. So this I can say is a limitation, and we have acknowledged it in our paper, and we are proposing future research to have a much more comprehensive sample that will take into account the considerations of the other agenda. But currently, as we speak, this is the status with the agricultural marketing cooperatives. Now, you asked about my opinion on that health insurance is a regulated issue, and that what is my opinion on the generally on the ecosystem. I think just like Professor Gabriel highlighted the need for collaboration and cooperation, I think we need to get to know better from countries which are very successful in this area, maybe starting from USA, Saudi Arabia, Belgium, those examples that I've given in my presentation, to try to learn from them how, because cooperatives in those areas have been integrated into the public healthcare system. So how does it work in their countries, and how it can work into our countries too? So I think this is an area that we need to learn more, we need to understand more from those who have done very well in cooperative health insurance. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We've got time for one more question. There's one question.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Yes, my name is Alex from Mosh Cooperative University. I have a short question to all presenters. And my question based on the last statement that you've made, starting from my friend from UNILAK on Living Lab. You spoke about the commercialization of the ideas of innovations from the students. And I think that one you are focusing after them leaving from the university, outside the education environment, that they have to go and implement their ideas. Or in other way, in the Living Lab in the university, you are incubating them. You are making them ready for the whatever outside the education system. Now, how do you comment on the approaches or strategies for sustainability of those ideas after commercialization of their ideas? Do you think something else needs to be in place